G'day guys, welcome back. My name is Wildkard. Yeah, so Super Rugby round 10 has gone on the weekend, and after watching all the games, I am left with a lot of questions, and I am left with a little bit dissatisfied with the way that the rugby is being presented here in Super Rugby, and I believe this is how it's being presented in other parts of the world in the process in the pursuit to speed the game up, right? And I first of all, I don't mind. I like the game being sped up, right? I like the referee not allowing players to run the clock down, deliberately, causing the scrum to get repacked over and over and over again to try to run down the last few minutes of the game and, just waste time in general, right? And I do like that, the referee paused the clock now when in fact there's something do happen and they just not let the clock run, sometimes with scrum resets. And I really do like that. The TMO is not just interjecting constantly and picking out every little problem off the game. But there's a big but that is really pissing me off. Some of the smaller stuff, sure, doesn't really matter. Maybe there's a slide forward pass that's missed or tiny little knock on that's been missed. That's inconsequential in the bigger part of the game. It's okay. I'm fine if that's being overlooked and sometimes the referee fails to pick those up. But when it comes to the moments when a try is being scored, moments where the result of the game is to be decided, we really have to look at how this is being presented to the fans as we watch this from home and at the stadium. So, number one, when we watch this video, when we watch the video I'm about to show you, I want you to watch this from a perspective of a rugby league fan. From the perspective of someone who hasn't watched rugby for a while and who are not up to date with all the laws. That's number one. Number two, I want you to watch this video not from the perspective of that my team won, so this is good enough for me, but I want you to watch the video from the team that lost, as the fan from the team that lost the game and lost the decision, and think about how that's going to affect their fan base and the turnouts for the Super Rugby franchise for them. Okay? Don't just think about you, and you're happy because your team won, but think about how this is going to affect overall picture for the sport to grow and the fan base to grow, not just for your club because you won, but for all the other clubs, all the people watching, the membership retention on the club, the team that lost the game. Think about that when we watch these videos. So this is one I got a lot of comments from Kiwi fans who told me that this was very clear and obvious and that I need to learn the laws. I do know the laws. My complaint is not about the law. My complaint is the way they presented what we're about to see, and I think it's really unclear for the people watching at home, especially if they're a rugby league fan or something. And the game should never end with people scratching their heads, wondering what happened. Okay? So let's watch this. This is a Chiefs versus Hurricanes. Golden point, all right? Whoever gets this wins the game. So let's just watch what happened. This is if you haven't watched this, this will be, you will get the same feeling as I did when I watched this live. And if you watch this, maybe this will refresh your memory on what exactly happened. So let's just go back a tiny bit, right? So we'll just turn the sound off for now. So the Chiefs are building up. Damon McKenzie, you're probably seeing, went for a drop. So just watch. Gets charged down. It's a mad scramble. So TT gets it, try, and the referee awards it, right? Now, if you're the first time watching this, you probably have a lot of questions in your head right now, right? Isn't Satiti offside? Whether it was a mass scramble, was there a knock on? Was people getting blocked? What happened? How did this happen? How did this happen? Right? And a lot of you saying that's pretty clear. Charge down, right? Puts players on side, and Satiti gets the ball because he's on side from the charge down, and that's perfectly fine. Like I said, you have to watch this from someone who hasn't seen rugby for a long time, right? And obviously that's pretty clear and obvious, right? Now, if it is so clear and obvious that was the case, extraordinary! let's keep watching, right? No replay whatsoever. That's the only thing we saw. Everybody's celebrating. They're not going to show a replay. And now to all the people saying this was very clear and obvious what happened, don't need to show replays or review. The referee is about to ask the TMO to review it very quickly so that he could end the game. Now, if this was so clear and obvious, why is the referee, who's 5 meters away from action, needs to ask the TMO to check if something's gone wrong? So let's just watch.
Okay, is there anything we need to look at? I believe it's a clear try. I've got no issues.
It's all clear.
So we can end the game now?
That's correct.
We have a kick. We have a charge down and puts everyone onside. He gets the ball in ground.
Correct.
Goal on point. That's game.
So here's the thing. He's ended the game. No review, no replay, right? And after the game's ended, so that the score is final, then they go on to the replay, right? Now, there is actually nothing wrong with there's nothing actually went wrong. But as a fan watching at home, right? And if there's still no replay, if you're watching this for the first time, you'll be feeling exactly what I'm feeling. I really want to see what happened. I really want to see if there was a knock-on, maybe. Especially if you're a Hurricanes fan. Is there a knock-on? Was someone grabbed or blocked on the rebound? Right? There's so many questions in your head. And if you're a Chiefs fan, sure, whatever. But if you're watching this as a Hurricanes fan, you wanted to see what happened. Even though, yeah, sure, maybe there is nothing to see. But you wanted just to see it. And as the experience of a fan, it's such a crucial moment in the game. And you've already watched the game for 85 minutes, right? Spending another 30 seconds to have a look at 2 replays and shows that everything is clear officially, and then you end the game. There's nothing wrong with it. And they just ended the game, and then you get to watch the replay in the aftermath. When all the decisions, like, it's still no replay. Like, when I was watching this live, I'm like, I want to see what happened. Just show me. I don't care about the coaches smiling. Show me what happened. I want to see the rugby. I want to see what happened. Still didn't show me. Still nothing. No replay still. Oh, here we go. And it's the same shot we saw from the try. So nothing, no new information was shown here, right? Was there a knock-on here between these two? Okay, it's not an angle. It's charged down, right? We got our 2 players challenging the ball in the air. Okay, so that looks okay, right? So TT gets it, and then he goes through. Yeah, no problem. But see how long that just took? Less than 10 seconds, and everybody's happy. And then they're like, and there's no confusion. No one's sitting there frustrated, wanting to see what happened after the game. And that's just like, you know, like, that's this game, right? There's no consequences in rushing through the referee decision. We're about to see another game where the rush decision actually may end up being the wrong decision, okay? And if this had been, you know, end up costing the team the game, boy. Okay, so let's watch this. This was Endura versus the Brumbies. This is a Endura's 5-meter defensive line out. They get the ball, right? So let's take a watch. Ball comes down. We don't even see what happened. We see a bunch of mad scramble somehow. We don't even see the ball at all. Now the ball pops out. And so obviously something happened, right? Obviously the ball somehow was on the ground and Nick Frost looked like he got the ball and scored. Or something like that. I don't know. Did you see what happened? I don't know. So the referee, again, tries to rush through the decision, and all they did was check the grounding. All they did was check the grounding. Okay, so they checked the grounding. Let's go for it a little bit, which was fine. They give it a try, right? Because we've got to keep the games rushed through. They kick the penalty and everything. Everything is done. Okay, and then they show the replay of the mystery why the ball was ended up in Nick Frost's hand, right? Let's watch. Watch number 8. Slaps the ball out of the hands of the ball receiver. That is Watch. Slaps the ball out of the hand of the ball receiver. Rush, rush, rush. Make the decision quick. Wrong decision was made. 100% should not be a try. A penalty to the Fijians. If Fijian lost this game, which was a close game, do you think the Fijian fans will be happy with this rush decision? Do you think their fans are going to come back and watch more of this? Absolute rubbish. Let's move on. This is not it. This is not it on the weekend. Okay? This is not it. This game, this moment, I was sitting there live at the stadium for the Waratahs. Right? So the Waratahs look like they're running over the try line. And then the referee says, no try held up. And I was sitting at the stadium. And everybody's played on. And this replay right here you're about to see, comes on the big screen. Okay? Comes onto the big screen. No review whatsoever. That looked like the boys on the line. That looks like a try. That looks like a try to me. Okay. They just played on. And let me tell you, when this happened, live at the stadium, there was utter confusion around the stadium. Everybody's like, pretty sure we just saw a try on TV, on the big screen. No explanation on the referee. No official review. Let's just play on. Let's just play on, guys. Let's just play on. And then finally, I know, that's not it. That's not it. That's not it, guys. This is the state of Super Rugby, okay? Finally, this bit here. Maybe we can get this up a little bit. Where is it? Oh, we've gone past a bit. Let's just get, oh, here it is. Now, this bit actually, just want to go back a little bit of story as well, right? One of the old mates that I was talking to while I was watching this at a bar before the Waratahs game was saying that he made a bet on one of the props on the Hurricane on the Highlanders to score a try in this game. And I was like, the odds are pretty low, right? Like they'd almost never score a try. Only prop that might score is Ethan de Groot. I think he betted on Angus Tarval. But anyway, because the odds of the prop scoring were very low, so they were paying pretty big money, right? Any of the props scoring will be paying big money. Now, watch this. And I told him literally before this, I said, if, you know, I think the only prop that might score is Ethan de Groot. And watch this. This is Ethan de Groot. He runs into the post. And he grounds the ball against the corner of the post. Now, the law has changed that it's no longer a try if he grounds the ball against the post. But, if you look at how much the post has compressed, and if you look at where the line is, because the post gets pushed back in, look at where the line is, there is a good chance the ball has actually touched the line here. Okay? There's a chance that the ball actually touched the line here. Like, you can see how much the post has bended and compressed into the goal line. There's a good chance the ball actually touched the goal line here. And the referee just says, and you can also see the post is twisting as they trying to shift the ball onto the line. So the post is not even straight on the post, it's onto the corner of the post. And the post is bending inwards like this. And we saw the ball on the ground. So this could very well be a try. But they just played on, right? The referee says, no, play on. And I don't know what happened. The Blues somehow come in from the side. And I was allowed to take the ball out. Okay? So, again. I feel like this needs to be reviewed. I feel like this... a good chance that this ball may have touched the line. And if you look at the post, it's already on an angle as well. So if you ground it against the corner on that post, the post would have been squished in and then it would have been turned sufficient enough. The ball may have actually touched the line, right? Like, the ball is right there on the ground. It may have touched the line right there. And here's the thing. If you're betting on this, and you've bet on Ethan de Groot to score a try with big odds of him, big payouts if he actually did score, like 20-1 or 30-1 or something, and you look at this, and then they just ignore it and play on, boy, you'd be spewing. They don't even look at this, right? You literally could just have your money stolen. But hey, like, let me know your thoughts. I think the game has gone too far in terms of speeding the game up. And when try has been scored, you need to slow the game down. You need to slow the game down and make the right decision. Because it's really, really important to make the right decision for the fans. For the people that didn't get the decision. It's not about you and your team gets a try or no try or whatever and get the game going. You have to think about the people who supports the Highlanders, who saw this thinking, didn't De Groot just, especially this game ended up with a 7-point difference. The Blues won by just 7 points. And this would have been a 7-point try. This could have been the difference between winning and losing for the Highlanders, ultimately. And they didn't even check. Move on. Nothing to see here. Right? Yeah, so let me know your thoughts. I think it's gone too far, and I think it's horrendous the way that the game is. The fact that I just went through like 4 games out of 5 in total that was played on the weekend, and picked out something that just so unclear. It's just, already shows you how terrible this has become. Anyway, let's move on. Moana Pasifika, I actually missed this news last week. It's announced that they're going bankrupt. You know, the New Zealand Rugby has been funding it, and not that long ago, a couple of weeks ago, in fact, they were looking at potentially getting a game in the Pacific Islands, and they couldn't get any sponsors. Or enough sponsors. Not, maybe they got some, but they couldn't get enough sponsors to cover the costs. So they couldn't go to the islands, and sure enough, it's not financially viable. Like, if you think about it, it's not really financially viable to have essentially a foreign team playing in New Zealand. Right, it's funded by New Zealand Rugby, yes, but it technically represents two foreign nations, Tonga and Samoa, or maybe all the Pacific Islands. So yeah, it's just not financially viable, and they're going under. You know, there's some people different ideas, and one of the ideas I like is that they're saying that put the team in Hong Kong, which is a great market. I do think we should actually have a team in Hong Kong, to be honest. But I just don't think if they're gonna have a team in Hong Kong, a Super Rugby team in Hong Kong, they're not gonna be reviving Moana Pasifika for that. They're probably just gonna make a new team for it. But yeah, it is tough. It is financially, you know, the New Zealand Rugby was hoping that maybe one of the governments will take over this team. But like, you know, if the Fijian and Jura did when Rugby Australia got it going, and then Fijian government essentially took over a lot of the finances for Fijian rugby. But then again, there's a huge scene in Fiji, and people pay, you know, sell out when the Juras play in Fiji. And for the Moana Pasifika, you know, not only that you can't sell out a stadium, but you can't even get enough people to sponsor a stadium to go to play in one of the islands, and just financially not viable, unfortunately. But yeah, I think New Zealand Rugby has to do this because they don't want to keep bleeding money for a team that doesn't really contribute much to the overall All Blacks picture. Yeah, it is a little bit sad, but it is, it is business, and you have to pay the bills, right? You have to pay the bills. So let's have a look at the results on the weekend for Super Rugby. Blues 47-40 Highlanders. Like I said, that De Groot try could have been the difference between the draw, or maybe even a bonus point, a golden point win, right? Waratahs over Moana Pasifika with the Prince Harry showing up as well. So he was definitely there. Did see him sitting next to Phil War. Chiefs versus Hurricanes, 22-17, golden point. We saw that bit at the end there. Brumbies lost to Jura at home for the first time ever. This is like the second time. I think the Juras won outside of Fiji, which is a really, really good effort. Yeah, Brumbies. You can watch my review on how I feel about the teams traveling. And finally, probably the most enjoyable game for me was Western Force versus the Crusaders. The Force backed themselves, didn't kick any penalty goals, didn't play prevent, and walk out with an upset, 31-26. Was really, really, really good to see. So this weekend, week 11 is Super Round. This is everybody going to be playing in New Zealand, in Christchurch, and this is going to be at the new stadium in Christchurch in the city. Get ready to pay $25 on parking, guys. But yeah, this will be pretty fun. By the way, if anybody's going, please let me know how the tickets actually work. Do you just buy like one ticket for like $200 or something, and then you get to go to all 3 days, or do you buy like, or is the ticket the same price as the individual? Like if you just get one game, is the same ticket? Like how does? Please let me know the ticket pricing. Is it just like, are you paying the same price as you would normally going to Crusaders game, and then maybe a little bit more, or are you paying a lot more? Or how does it work? Do you get like different day packages? You can go different days are cheaper. How does this work? I'm actually not too sure how these Super rounds works. But yeah, this is going to be really, really nice. One thing I don't like about this round is they were talking about like a clean sweep for Aussie teams over the New Zealanders, and Western Force is not scheduled to play. Yeah, I know. Western Force should be playing the Highlanders, but or you know the Chiefs or whatever, but yeah, it is New Zealand rugby for you. But I guess it kind of makes sense because Western Force might have a very small fan base in Christchurch, whereas Moana Pasifika, technically a New Zealand team, and Fiji and Jura always have a big showing up from all the Fijian fans. Yeah, maybe that's financially makes sense, but in terms of building a rivalry, a long-term rivalry, I felt like Western Force should be putting here ahead of Moana Pasifika. But anyway, if that's especially if that's the advertising going to go with Aussie trying to get a clean sweep in New Zealand, I highly doubt it. But it really should at least have all the Aussie teams there to begin with. But anyway, Crusaders for Waratahs opening the round, and then we go to Saturday. Doubleheader on Saturday, Hurricanes versus the Blues, and on Sunday 2 more games. Hurricanes versus Brumbies, and we've got Blues versus Reds on Sunday. Highlanders versus Moana Pasifika, and Chiefs versus Endura to finish off on Sunday afternoon. So anyway, the big win on the weekend also saw the big starting debut, his second game for the Western Force, Zach Lomax, and I watched some podcasts, I think, or I think it might be a radio show here in Australia, and they were just trashing Lomax. They were like mocking him, making stupid decisions in life, how he made the wrong decisions in NRL, and he tried to go to Rugby 360, and that competition obviously didn't happen, and they were just laughing at him. And now they're like, yeah, and then going to Rugby, and he ended up in Perth, like one of the smallest markets in the world. Just really, really like hard stuff. Like, my goodness, like these people were just horrendous. The way they were talking about him, he actually gave me a lot of sympathy for Lomax now that I actually wanted to support him more, because how badly these people were trashing him. I think they were Rugby League pundits that were trashing him, and about his decision to not just in rugby but in Rugby League as well. And they were like, maybe another 5 years or something, he'll finally make the same money that he made at Parramatta Eels. Yeah, but yeah, I really didn't like that. But his performance for the Western Force was decent. I would say maybe a 6 out of 10. 6 out of 10 because his defense seems to be a bit of an issue. But unlike Rugby League, Rugby Union actually, it's a dynamic defense. You actually have to read the game and what's happening and put yourself in the positions, and sometimes you get caught out, and he was beaten 1-on-1 by a lock as well. So definitely gonna have to work on those tackling skills as well, Mr. Lomax. But yeah, he did score a try, has some try assists as well, and 1, maybe 2. There was more try that he was involved in. But yeah, so yeah, I just thought it was really, really bad the way that like the rugby league pundits just absolutely trashed him for this. But yeah, so yeah, they were talking about Kiwi sweep, a super round. I highly doubt it. And but yeah, so first game, obviously the Waratahs versus the Crusaders. So I was telling my friend I shook hands with Isaac Kalia. And usually when I shake hands with a player, they have a good performance the next round. So Isaac Kalia has been called up to start for the Waratahs against the Crusaders. So maybe he's gonna get a try. I don't know, but that's already a good start that he's getting a start for the Waratahs. So yeah, the Waratahs team against the Crusaders: Isaac Kalia, Falau Fainga'a, COC Fa Amon. All three of these guys were on the bench for the Waratahs, so it gets the start against the against Crusaders. Matt Phillip coming in at number 4, Miles Amatasero, number 5, Angus Scott Young had a good game last week, comes back at number 6. Charlie Gamble retains number 7 jersey, and P. Samu finish off at number 8. Jay Gordon comes back at number 9. Jack Depressini retains the number 10 jersey. Sid Harvey moves from fullback to number 11. Lawson Crichton retains number 12. Joey Walton retains number 13. Andrew Calloway stays at number 14. And Max Jorgensen gets a swappy swap to number 15 for Sid Harvey. So really interesting, I think, the decision here to put Jorgensen at fullback because I think he's going to get tested by the Crusaders. Kicking game. In the back line, in the reserves now, Moana, he's back at number 16. Former Crusader. Yes! Yeah, just stick it to them. Comes back at number 16. Tom Lambert, number 17. And Daniel Botha comes in number 18. Angus Blythe comes in number 19. Glenn Halaholo, number 20. Jamie Adamson, also 6'2" on the bench. Open side flanker comes in number 21. Teddy Wilson, number 22. And Tristan Riley, the utility guy, comes in number 23. So the bomb squad is in play for the Waratahs. For the Crusaders, they have also taken a page out of the Rassie Erasmus. They have moved Leska Fainga Nuku to flanker. They're doing an Andre Essehazen here with Leicester Fainga Nuku for the Crusaders. So Rob Penny is definitely learning to be at least step out of the criticism of the New Zealand pundits. They always criticize Rassie's strategies, and sometimes if you can't beat them, you just have to join them, right? So yeah, for the Crusaders, we got Finlay Brewers coming number 1. Cody Taylor returns to number 2 from a bit of an injury. Fletcher Newer comes in number 3. Antonio Shaofu, number 4. Tala Cahill comes in at number 5. Dom Gardner comes in number 6. Lester Fainga Nuku, open side flanker, comes in number 7. Christian Leo Willie comes in number 8. Noah Houghton, number 9. Taha Kemara, number 10. Maka Springer, number 11. David Havili returns at number 12. Maybe that's why they moved Fainga Nuku to 7. Braden Enor comes back at number 13. Seville Reese comes in at number 14. Johnny McNichol has been outstanding for the Crusaders. Returns at number 15 to the fullback position. On the reserves, we've got George Bell, number 16. George Bauer, number 17. Seb Calder comes in number 18. Jamie Hanna, number 19. Johnny Lee comes in number 20. Kyle Preston, number 21. Revis Rayhana, number 22. And Dallas McLeod comes back at number 23. So 5-3 set up on the bench. So many All Blacks injured for the Crusaders. So I do think that the Waratahs has a slim chance of beating the Crusaders if they don't kick a bunch of penalties and then stick it to the Crusaders like the Western Force has done. And I do like that the Waratahs is emphasizing the bench and the bomb squad a little bit with Botha and the starting front rowers coming off the bench. So I do think that they're probably not gonna emphasize on goal kicking. Who knows? Maybe they're gonna milk scrums with the penalties. But yeah, I don't know. Hopefully they're actually gonna assert the dominance with the bomb squad in the second half and actually stick it to the to the Crusaders to the bitter end. So yeah, maybe they will squeeze out this win if they do that. But if they kick a bunch of penalties, I have very little hope that we're gonna beat the Crusaders at home if that was the approach. For the Reds, they're also having a team announced. We're not gonna go through it all, but you can have a look at this yourself. This video has gone long enough, 30 minutes. Reds against the Blues, and also the Brumbies with the big return is Tom Wright's second game last week. Last week he back for the first game. One of the interesting comments that came out for Tom Wright last week was that the Brumbies has drilled like very rigid game plan to all the players on the field, except for Tom Wright, who was kind of free to do what he wanted on the weekend. And I felt like he was a little bit disconnected. He was very disconnected from the team. A lot of times he was running around trying to do something, and his teammates were just like, we're not too sure what we're supposed to do here. And he was just left doing things that look a little bit out of place. But I think the comment was correct that Tom Wright has been given, or at least has been out of the team for so long, that he's still got the freedom to express what he thinks is happening and to respond to what's in front of him. Whereas the rest of his team has been just drilled, like nailed down like a hammer to do exactly what's being told by the management and not have any room to improve. So the Hurricanes also named their team Karethi 100th cap against the Brumbies. I don't think the Brumbies will beat the Hurricanes, to be really frank with you. But anyway, let's move on. So Gilbert Inoka is returning to the All Blacks to work for Dave Rennie, and he is the psychology coach or mindset coach, maybe that's what you call it. But he's the one that worked on a lot in the golden era of the All Blacks with Richie McCaw and stuff to really like get the players mentally in the right spot for the All Blacks. And he's now back, sports psychology. He's back at working for the All Blacks again for Dave Rennie. And one of the big problem the All Blacks had, if you look at the 2007 Rugby World Cup, they lost to France in a World Cup where they were heavily expected to win. People felt like the choker term came to play. People felt like it's not because they're physically or skill in terms of skill set wasn't there, but it was mentally they were just maybe a bit too wasn't mentally able to cope with the pressure. And that's something also Richie McCaw talked about afterwards as well. He focused on being mentally preparing himself better for big occasions and not to get overwhelmed by the pressure, by the high expectations that people have on him. And it's worked out for the All Blacks to back-to-back World Cup championships, and I think that Inoka is someone that's brought a lot of that into the team, and he's back, and it's really, really important for them as well. So there's a 2026. There's a Toyota Challenge with a bunch of teams being represented in this kind of like a T2 maybe tournament with South African teams and some European teams involved. So the Cheetahs, and I don't know how to say this one. This is Rikas, the Pumas. All of these are essentially just under the URC level in Curry Cup, and then you've got a couple of teams from Portugal, Lusitanos, and then Georgia's team Black Lions, and the Romania A team will be competing in a little Challenge Cup tournament thing for. So it's really good for development of the sport and opportunities for more play, especially the European teams, to develop depth for their team towards the Rugby World Cup. Wales Rugby Union has rejected a bid to sell Cardiff Rugby to Y11 Sports and Media. Essentially, I'm guessing they try to lowball the Wales Rugby Union because there's blood in the street. The union isn't doing so well financially, so maybe the offer was too low. And Wales Rugby Union, after seeing the turnaround win against Italy, maybe feel like this could be a strategic opportunity to turn everything financially around a little bit and not have to desperately sell off the team at a massive discount. So the offer was withdrawn and I guess rejected by Wales Rugby Union. The Ospreys will be retained under the union's management. So Carter Gordon has been revealed that he did not have a major injury, despite, you know, showing at the last game. What was it? Reds against was it against the Chiefs? But anyway, in the last 2 rounds ago now, he kind of like came off the field and then sat on the sideline with crutches. But it's been revealed that he's going to be okay. He's just a cartilage injury, a very minor injury, so he'll be probably okay in a couple of weeks. Angus Bell, playing in Ireland right now for Ulster, has suffered a toe injury. Now, I don't know which toe. Might be the same toe that he's having injuries for quite some time. He had an operation on it as well. Saw him missed out quite a bit of his season for the Waratahs and the Wallabies a couple years ago. So he's got another toe injury. So yeah, I don't know. He has to, how bad this is. I mean, repeatedly injuring that same toe. Yeah, hopefully he's going to be okay. Hopefully he's going to be available to play for the Wallabies this year. But yeah, that's a big loss for us. Reece Zammit has a bit of knee injury. Suffered a knee injury in training, so he might be out for some time. Simone Tuipulotu, Moses Tuipulotu has signed with Edinburgh. Is Simone Tuipulotu's brother to 2028. And then finally, Zhang Sullivan has signed to stay with the Blues to 2028 as well. Anyway, thanks for watching this video. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know your thoughts about the referees' rushing decisions. I do think it's really important to just have if a try's been scored, just take a look at it. It's not gonna be bad, and I think it's currently creating confusion, and it's currently I think it's currently making the product a lot less than it was before. But anyway, let me know your thoughts. Like, comment, subscribe. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys this weekend for the reviews. Cheers.